This is a test of the Boundary Park alert system. Hello and welcome to the Latics Football Phone-In for those of you who have tuned in.
Hello.
My name is Matt Dean.
And I'm Sexy Dave.
I thought you were just going to drop the Dave then. And you
Yeah, well,
I'm sexy.
I'm sexy. I'm too sexy for this phone-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why, this is your last one, isn't it?
No.
So,
Have you put the link in the chat?
Oh, no, I haven't put the link in the chat. Thanks for the reminder,
It's
Dave.
all right, no problem.
Thanks for the reminder.
We are so professional.
We're absolutely.
Good evening, lads and lasses. Pest.
So we've had no Tuesday game this week for a change, have we?
Paste it.
It's not happening, though, is it?
Just click it and paste it,
There we
Len.
go. Keyboard shortcut.
You nearly got me 50 then.
Good evening from France.
Bonsoir, mon ami.
Monsieur Stringer.
Stringer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, said Fred, dosses and dwads.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're a... No. Cunham.
Anyway. Good, nice one.
Stad gid.
Yeah, nice one for dropping a partridge in so
Love
early
it.
into the show, Sam.
He follows the darts.
The darts, yeah.
Darts.
Good evening, James.
Luke Lidler.
OFC.
Stephen Bunding. Anyway.
Yeah. So, we've no Tuesday game this week, which is good for the players.
Because we didn't lose.
We didn't lose. We didn't have any... Well, maybe it's going to be a quiet one because there's not... people just need a bit of a break as they psych themselves up for the visit of Barnet at the weekend.
Yep. Barnet. It's going to be... I hope we're ready. I hope this Tuesday break has got them ready. But what I want to know is, where is the new striker?
Just got Big Mike, haven't we? Banging goals.
And I love you, Mike Fondop.
Listen, we've said it a million times, haven't we? We've been knackered without his goals this season and his performances.
26 points in deficit.
Yeah, and I'd just like to reiterate for those who watch and are affiliated with Mike in any way, there's a lot of love for Mike from both the podcast and the phone-in. Let's be clear.
There's a lot of love.
But we have to. So let's just be clear. So on Twitter, I think it was Mike's mother-in-law was not happy. He's not happy with Andy Halliwell's opinions of Mike Fondop. But look, everybody's got their own opinion. We think we love him. We love his attitude. Even Dave, to be fair, even Andy has given him credit this season.
Yeah.
But Andy's Andy, and what we want is we want people to have their own opinions. So where are you? Give us your opinions this evening. There's a man in a rather snazzy tank top waiting to come on.
And a nice little bob
and
hat.
a beanie. Yeah.
Is it a beanie or a bob hat? I think it's a bob hat. I don't know. We'll ask him. Let's bring him in.
We'll find out anyway. But this is obviously Shropshire style.
And
look at this. What a stylish chap.
I've just got to I'm cooking my food. Just 1 minute.
Oh, right.
Absolutely
It's
brilliant.
a morning, Adrian.
Yeah.
Cooking my food.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay.
You've got me.
Oh, it's a tank top.
It is a tank top.
Isn't it? It's a tank top.
Very
It keeps me
snazzy.
warm out in Shropshire. You've got to keep warm out. Yeah.
Do you know what? To be fair, you look more like a Dulwich hipster than you do a Shropshire farmer.
Hipster.
So
Shropshire.
That's a mouthful, isn't it?
A Shropshire.
You've obviously not got stuck into the red wine just yet. Adrian.
Imagine if Sean Connery said that. A Shropshire hipster.
I've had a busy day. So busy week. So I thought I wasn't going to call him, and I thought, why not? So
somebody has to, other than Ibby, who is in the queue, as is Dane, by the way. So we do have callers lined up.
Yeah. So you want my view? What do you want my views on?
Whatever you want.
You rang him, mate.
Your choice.
I want to ask you something. What's going on with this Ruffians Oldham Athletic? Do you know anything? You got any insights into this?
No.
Just a lot of rumours at the moment, isn't there? But until it's in black and white and signed and sealed, then there's nothing you can really say. There's just a lot of Twitter and stuff like that. But I've not heard anything.
No, I genuinely haven't.
There was a video from the Ruffians. I'm not a rugby league man, but there was a video saying they were going to make an announcement this week. But, it'd be interesting. Whatever happens, it will be interesting. And,
I guess it all depends. I don't. Obviously, they've signed a 10-year agreement to use Boundary Park. Whether or not they intend to stay at Boundary Park for the future, or whether they want their own home again, I guess it all depends on that, doesn't it? Really, I think as soon as they make that decision, they'll be able to plan for the future. So I guess it depends. I don't know. I'm sure they'd like to have seats that are red and things like that, and represent the club a bit more than playing clearly at somebody else's ground. So I don't know what I'd prefer. I don't really have a preference. I guess I'd probably like the rugby club to have their own ground, but with land being what it is, it's not easy, is it?
I won't mind it combined, me, because then it's like a hub for sport and the community in one place. Because the Ruffians have been nomads for a long time, and it has brought a good feeling back into the town having them there. And if they're successful, then it can sort of maybe work in the favour of the fans. They're heavily investing in the Ruffians at the moment.
It's more cost effective for both clubs, isn't it, to share a stadium?
I think it'd be a good thing because they're not like fixed costs, wouldn't they? And I don't see why they couldn't work something. I think it'd be quite a good thing. I really do, because they seem to be doing quite well. Because I'm not rugby, but they seem to be doing quite well, and there's a lot of emphasis there with optimism. So I think it's a good thing. I can't wait to see. So that's
we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, but what about football then? What about football?
What are your thoughts on Saturday, mate? Are you confident, or are you coming up for it?
I was going to go. I mean, I'm always like I drive up on my own trucks. It's not. You drive all the way back. It's a shit game. So I was going to go, but I travel a lot around the world, so I can watch it live. Fantastic! I can marvelously watch it live from other parts, from Belgium.
Yeah, you text me from South Africa the other week, didn't you?
I actually was in South Africa. I did actually watch it in South Africa. I watched it live in South Africa. Much to the annoyance of my partner, who's a Crew Alexander fan. She can't get to see games. But, no, I did watch it. No, but it's hard work. It really is hard work.
What do you think it is down to? Do you think it's down to injuries, tactics?
I think it's down to. I just think it was a perfect storm around Christmas time. With the fixtures called off, and obviously injuries, players moving and stuff. But I think now, I really do think every day I can look to see if there's any movement on the striker. We've got to buy him. There's lots to talk about Mike Fondop, and he's fantastic. Everybody loves him, but it's not going to happen, is it? It's really, it's not going to happen with just him and Billy Waters, who's ferrets around, he's industrious, but it's not going to happen.
Can I ask you something? Alex Reid, I keep on going on about him. Would you recall him now from Wealdstone?
I don't think it's going to happen, is it?
Well, I'm asking if you were manager, would you recall him? Would you recall him back?
Yeah, but I'd have to be Mickey Mellon, so it's clearly not going to do it, is it? I mean, hell of freeze over, I think, seems to be, apparently, before we recall him.
It's such a shame. It's such a shame. I think it's criminal because we're in the exact same, not exact same position league-wise, but the exact same predicament we were last season. We had Norwood, Stones got injured, then we had Fondop. Garner was in and out, wasn't it? And I think he got injured. And then Alex Reid was just left.
Well, he was ostracised, wasn't he?
He was ostracised, left out to pasture and just in the cold. And we were desperate for just something different in the last running of games. But it's just ridiculous.
The style of play now is dictated by the fact that we've got Mike Fondop up front. I mean, the balls go up to him, and he gains the ball, but there's nobody around him. There's nobody around to pick up the ball. It's just it's not going to happen, is it? I really think unless we get somebody in, We'll probably scrape the playoffs, but I can't see it. There's no creativity in the final third. So, and
I guess there's got to be a hope, Adrian, that Norwood gets fit and he's firing for the playoffs again. I mean, he's not. He's not going to be firing, but we saw against Altrincham what an unfit James Norwood can do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if we get into the playoffs, for those however many games it is, depending on where we finish, we need him in the squad. There's no question about that. I don't think we can maybe bring somebody in on loan. It's up until something of March, isn't it, that we can do. We can bring someone in, and obviously we can sign anyone from our league and below.
March, I think.
But whether anyone's going to become available or not, that it's going to be worth investing in, I don't know, because they're not just going to bring somebody in for the sake of it. So it's beginning to look to me like it's not going to happen, and we're going to make do with what we've got. I think that's going to be the way it's going to be. I think in terms of the way we play, obviously Mickey Mellon came out on Saturday after the game against Dagenham. Was it Dagenham?
Dagenham.
Yeah.
Said he wants to change.
Yeah, said that he's going to be, he's maybe been a bit stubborn with the formation.
That's like saying the Titanic's a bit wet.
Well, he's.
You can change the formation, but realistically, what would you do if you change that formation? What would you do? I mean, who would you put up front? I mean, it's very limited, isn't it? I mean, I know what's happening with Garnet. He's still on the same.
He's still injured.
Yeah.
So what you're left with? I mean, you're left with Billy Waters and Fun. That's it. So how are you going to change that? What are you going to do? Because to be fair, Mike Fonda, he's a good player. But he's not. He can't create. He's not the sort of instinctive ball player that Norwood is. And he plays. He's a great asset, but he's an impact player, isn't he? But he's not. We shouldn't be in a position where we just have to
Craig Lee here reckons that two pacey wingers is the answer. 4-4-3. I'm
4-3-3.
4-3-3. Sorry, I'm not
4-4-3. You'd definitely win.
Would we?
Well,
4-3-3. I don't know. I think for me, we've Josh Lundstrom is a good number 10, and I think you've got to start using him as that. I've got to get him on the ball and get him driving forward. I think Pritchard can see a pass. I think. Look, we could record Joe Nuttall, but he can't even score a penalty.
Oh,
he can't even kick a penalty. Did you see that during the week?
Yeah, and as king of the laws, the referee was bang right.
So what he did is he was taking a penalty for Altrincham, and he went to take it, and he stopped.
Which results in unsporting behaviour with regards to you have to keep a continuous movement. You can run and slow down, but but he stopped on one leg, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then the referee gave it unsporting behaviour, and it was an indirect free kick to the other team. Yeah. Oh, you'd be fuming, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So
imagine if he did that at Boundary Park.
Yeah, imagine. So that's not an option, because you have to remember we've got Joe Nuttall out on loan as well, and Kurt Willoughby as well. There's not just Reed.
Yeah, but I mean, it's at Chester. Is he Chester now?
Yeah, he went back to Chester. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not scored many goals there, has he?
No.
So
confidence is shot after coming to Oldham.
Yeah, well, it's just a mess. It's just a mess.
I wouldn't say it's a mess. I wouldn't say. I just think it's.
Adrian, we've got beat at home by Maidenhead.
I mean, the whole thing's unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, last year we're all moaning about lack of midfield, and then we've got a solid defence spot, and then we've got midfielders coming out of our ears, and now we've got.
I think it's more than that, Adrian. Getting beat by Maidenhead at home and then getting a draw in the last minute against a team like Dagenham, who've been on such a crap run. And the system is wrong. And we always start, it's second half season syndrome.
Yeah.
And it's just the same with Mellon, and it's his stubbornness. And now he's admitted it.
My mate in Shrewsbury, a good mate, my plastering for me. I asked him about that one, and he said, well, he's solid, but he's uninspiring. He'll get you there, but it'll be really dull. And then if he gets at the National League, it's that's his level. And he just seems to be that way.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing, Adrian, is that that has been, people have been saying that to us since the beginning of his tenure at the club. And then there's that song in there. How we get there, I don't know. How we get there, I don't care. All I know is Oldham's on our way, right? So we the season's got to get over yet before we can say definitively whether he's done it or not. And there's no doubt that this calendar year has been really disappointing. And we've said it on the podcast and on the phone. And it's up to Mickey Mellon now to earn his, he's got these credentials. He's got this, reputation in the game. It's up to him to show us now that he can manage the squad he's got and get results, because it's been poor.
You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, and that's what we've got.
But he's had the budget of a silk purse. He's had the budget.
I know, and that's the problem. That's the problem, because we're not going to get anywhere with the strike force we've got. It's simple as that. You just see it. It's just in the final third. It just won't happen. It's not going to happen unless we get Norwood back and
I said it last week. I've lost faith in his tactics and his performance. After Dagenham and Redbridge, it just cemented my real concern with where we're at as a team, tactically coaching.
He wasn't doing that sort of November time, was he? When he had a bit more firepower up front, he looked a bit healthy. It's since it's gone off the rails since Christmas that we relied on John.
We were doing a lot of that at the beginning of the season, though. We had the difference is that we had Ogle, we had Month. They were both playing really well.
Charsley.
We had Charsley started the season well. We had Conlon, who was really, really influential. So basically, and obviously Matt Hudson's not in the team as well at the minute. So we have been. The team that he'd made, his first 11, which we were going on about earlier on before Christmas about how good it was and how effective it was, keeping clean sheets. We weren't winning games by millions of goals. We had a few games against the likes of Boston, Tamworth, Braintree, where we put a few away. But overall, it was the ability to keep it tight and win games with a bit of quality. And with that, unfortunately, because we've lost those players, those key players, it has had an effect. So the question is, will we? I think isn't Conlon rumoured to be coming back fairly soon? I think.
Don't know.
So there are players hopefully that will be coming back into the team. Ogle will be back soon. So there's a chance that we will finish the season stronger than we're playing.
Yeah, but Mark, do you think that'll make a difference with the positives?
I think it will make a difference if. It will make a difference if we can get some of the important players back. Absolutely.
No, and the strikers. Will it make a difference?
Well, we're just going to have to cope, aren't we, with what we've got, and hopefully Norwood. Hopefully Norwood will be fit towards the end of the season when we need him. You know what I mean? Look, it is what it is. We're not in the perfect scenario. We know that. We in an ideal scenario, we wouldn't have 3 strikers out on loan. We'd have at least 1 or 2 other strikers on the bench ready to go, chomping at the bit, but we don't. And that's just the situation. So we can't do anything about that now. We can ask questions about recruitment and all this, come the end of the season when we know where we've finished. And then next season, we've got to recruit again. We won't have
seven players in contract.
We won't. Yeah, but we won't have a lot of these other players out that are in contract.
What do you think the chances are of them bringing in a striker that's in the end of April?
I think if we were going to bring a striker in, they'd have come in by now. I mean, they all said they brought in Billy Waters. He's a striker. So, but, he's not what you would... He's not... He doesn't appear to be the most prolific because he seems to miss quite a lot of chances. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to write him off. It doesn't mean that he might go on a run and score 5 goals in 3 games for all we know.
But he's not suitable for the style of play either. He's a big high balls and stuff. I mean, he's 5 foot.
Well, we've got a lot more players now that can play it on the ground. We've got Pritchard, we've got Lundstrom, we've got Pep, we've got Rossiter. We've got players who can pass the ball. So we need to start passing the ball, don't we?
Well, we do.
And that's on the manager. If he's going to put up Waters up top or one up top, and keep humping it and keep bypassing the midfield and keep losing games, then it's on him. We've seen that we can play a bit, and the players have got to pick it up and pass the ball with a bit more zip around the pitch.
Yeah. Well, what score on Saturday, Adrian?
Oh, I think I'd be a fool if I said we were going to get anything. I can't see us getting anything out of it, to be honest. Unless you've got the optimistic. I can't see it. To be honest. If we get a draw, I think we'll be lucky.
Right. Well, cheers, mate. Thanks for joining us, and see you soon. Yeah.
Cheers,
Enjoy
guys.
the wine, mate.
Cheers,
See you in a bit.
We're lucky if we get anything. We just had Carl Ogden in the waiting room, and he obviously didn't want to wait, but it'd be nice to speak to you because I don't think you've been on before.
No.
But we're going to come to Dane.
Stick your camera on, Dane. Yeah, good lad. Nice
There we
one.
go.
All right, Dane.
Hello.
Hey up, gents. We okay?
Yeah, you.
Results aside, pretty much the latter. Yeah. We've kind
It's
of
only a
kept
game.
really. Well, when I'm Prime Minister, that will not be a legal saying.
What have you made of it, mate?
And I mean, reiterating a lot of what's already been said, we really need to change the formation in some way because he's just sticking to the same thing week in, week out. It's just not working. Something's got to change. I'd probably just, even if it's just a 4-4-2, but the wing backs and the three at the back clearly isn't working with the lumping it up front. You know, I think Kitchen's been very ineffective in his wing back spot for the last few games. Really hasn't seemed like everything's going down the right to Caprice. So straight away, I'd maybe just settle it into more of a back four. I would bring Reid back from Wealdstone. He's a proven goal scorer in this league. Yep. He's played with the squad for a few years. He knows the style more. If we're going to keep Waters and long ball it, so what's the point? He's not big enough for that sort of style of play. So why not recall somebody that we've already got out there on the books? I think hopefully with him finally acknowledging the stubbornness on Saturday, something will change henceforth. But we're going into a hell of a fixture on Saturday to try and start changing it. But if we go in like we have been for the last 5-6 games, we're going to get absolutely trounced, really, aren't we? Let's be real.
Oh, big time.
We're going to need to perform like we did against Forest Green in the first half and Gateshead in the second half, and not how we played against York, basically.
Absolutely.
They're the top three teams that we've had at Boundary Park.
Do you think it could get toxic if we're 2-0 down in 20 minutes?
Yes. I wouldn't put anything past our crowd. I don't think they should go toxic. I've never liked it. I don't think it's constructive, but that's the reality.
We need the team. We do need the team to start the game though, because listen, they're playing Barnet, right? Who are absolutely flying, full of confidence, well organised, good manager, score loads of goals. If the players aren't on it, and then we are going to get beat. And they put 4 past Rochdale. Now, when we played Rochdale a couple of weeks ago, and we've got Rochdale coming up, we weren't head and shoulders better than Rochdale, were we? So you can expect
we controlled the game though effectively, and we should have been 4-0 back. But it's poor finishing.
They're massively on the slide though now, aren't they?
Yeah. But when we're closer to Rochdale at the minute than we are to Barnet, aren't we, in terms of performance?
But the thing is, do you think we start really badly? We always start with first 10 minutes with this plan A that we've been drilled all week, and then he changes it. Now, it's like, why do we always start incorrectly? Is it a lack of homework? Is it a lack of scouting? Is it a lack of understanding of the other team? Because Rochdale, the first 10 minutes, we were everywhere, until we showed it up at the back. Then Maidenhead, we were diabolical. It was dire. Sutton, dire. And then we had to change it again. And then, Dagenham and Redbridge was sickening.
Can't make sense of the tactics. Goes from playing it on the floor for 10 minutes, then he'll hoof it for 5 minutes, then he'll go back to playing it on the floor, then he'll try and go. It's just so random. They really can't make sense of what's going on with it all at the moment. But if we don't change it against Barnet, it's going to be bad. And it's just going back to what you said before about the team needs to start stronger. I tried and sing every single game. But the last 2 times I've turned up, I just cannot be asked because it's just been so turgid, and they really need to start coming out of the block stronger to get the home crowd behind them. It's another one of the reasons why we're so poor at home, because it's just turgid and it sucks the atmosphere straight out of the crowd. I mean, when's the last time we scored in the first 15 minutes at home? Have we done it once in maybe the last 10 games, if that?
I think there's...
Was it Braintree, Jez?
That was the first game of the season. First home game of the season.
I think it was,
might have been. I don't know, but look, I mean, I think there's things we know that the club is on a much better footing now than it has been for a while. But there are things that, like at home again, like I mean, my cousin John came and he said I was going to get a Guinness, but they did cans and it was £6. Is that right? £6 for a can of Guinness in the fans bar.
That's Centre Park's price.
I mean, you know, like, that's ridiculous. Like,
£6 for a Guinness?
That's
You're joking,
that's what he said. He said it was £6 for a can of Guinness. And I was like, obviously, that is ridiculous. So, you know, I don't know about the stuff with the catering and the prices. £25 on the door. People, you know, like, I think that...
It's not.
Well, that's what my cousin said. I don't know. I haven't checked. If anyone can confirm it, if it's £6 for a...
Dale, Harry,
less than that for a pint of lager. I don't drink Guinness myself, but I think...
No, I think it's like £4.80 or something for a pint of bitter, I think it was. You know, like...
£6.
So, well, that's what he said. I don't know. But, like, I think,
really
like, you know, yeah, of course, yeah.
But the tactics, yeah.
But in terms of getting an atmosphere and people, and I know they're trying with the fan park and, you know, with like food and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's we know what things are like at the minute with pricing, just in general, right? You know, it's life is expensive at the moment, and football is a luxury for a lot of people. And the experience of Boundary Park, we got to get that balance right. And if you're paying a lot of money, you do want to be entertained. You do, or at least you do want it to be competitive and, you know, fairly decent. Now we're in the National League, but you can't. There are still good games of football to be had in the National League, and we've seen them. But it's a tough one. It's a tough balancing act for the club, bringing in the revenue, and the match day experience is always going to be helped. £6 for draft Guinness, but in the ground. I don't know if they have. Is it a draft or a can? They would have got a draft.
Do you think our revenues, the determining factor in this is obviously the EFL supplement you get, but I think it's very possible that our revenues aren't too dissimilar to the back end of when we were in League One, simply because of the increased crowds. But as I say, it's the EFL supplement that's topping up the rest of it. So the whole thing is very frustrating when it's kind of all there just to, you know, like the touch paper, so to speak. But I've lost train of thought now. Sorry, guys.
I just think there's something not right at the moment in terms of the squad, the coaching, the tactics. There's something. There's an imbalance because even when we had the injury here, injury there, and we just seem devoid of all confidence, don't we? I think that's.
And these injuries have all been spaced apart, you know. So it's not like
as if like one's gone down, another one's gone. Yeah. Ogle and Monthey, you'd say that's pretty fair, but again, you've got Hobson who's decent. You've got Sutton. He looks tired, you know. And I
dropped Sutton. Yeah, I mean, I said this about 2 weeks ago, and we came in last time, and his distribution's not there for me, and I know Hobson's only just come back, so he's probably just a bit rusty. But I would definitely be playing.
I'd put Caprice on the left and put Sutton as the wing back role, so he can drive forward, not just drop him altogether. That's what I'd do, and then put Hobson at the back in the back three with Leak and Raglan. That's what I'd do.
He's not he's going to be playing the back three though anymore, is he?
Well, I don't know. He might be playing the back five. He might be playing the back seven. He might be playing one at the back. You don't know, do you? You just don't know.
Don't know. But look, hopefully Ogle will be back. We missed Ogle. We need him back. So hopefully he won't be out for too long.
I hope he comes back with his mullet as well.
Everything's gone wrong since he cut his mullet. Everything has gone wrong since he cut his mullet. It's all.
Needs to make more advantage of these long throws as well. Just on that, while we're talking about Ogle, these long throws that we just insist on keep doing over and over. How many times are we flicking it on and flicking it towards the goal? And we get so many. We must be getting into double figures of throw-ins on the edge of the box. And again, it's just one of those tactics that he's just insisting on keeping doing, but it's not working.
Stephen Clegg, you are on my Christmas card list. Got to play 2 up front at home. When he played 1 up front at Maidenhead,
the crowd
was already down by 7 o'clock.
Just sucked the atmosphere straight out of the stadium before the ground.
Yeah, and why is the crowd so flat? Why aren't we getting behind the team? Because you're playing 1 up front against a fourth bottom team.
Yeah, really highlights the lack of quality in this league, the fact that we are where we are. And I wouldn't give us, I could count on one hand how many good performances I'd give us throughout the season, yet we've still managed to grind out the results. And again, it's just that all adds to the frustration that there's really not a lot in this league at all. And we only need to turn it up 1 or 2 notches to really get up there, and it's just, for whatever reason, it's not happening.
Well, Nick Green says we need wingers. I'd have to agree. We need some pace. We've got.
Do you think that Kitchen's performances have suffered since Manny Mons left the team? Was he playing better while he was in the side?
I think he now knows because he's put Leak at the back three. He knows that he's going to be playing every week, and now he's just completely dipped like he did last season, knowing that he was going to get in every single game. That's the problem.
I can see both points there, to be honest, Jens. Yeah.
Why do we have to
I think he has got worse since Month, but he has been worse since Month's got dropped. But maybe it could be because of complacency. But he's not been charging forward at all these last few games. I've been disappointed with him.
Right, Jacko AFC says, "Why do we have to play two up front?" Question mark, not a full stop. Liverpool don't, Barnet don't, York don't, City don't, Arsenal don't,
because they don't all have 30-odd-year-old midfielders that can't drive forward.
Jack, there is your answer.
Yeah, I mean,
we've got no pace. Salah, pace. You know, Jota, pace.
I mean, the thing is you could look at Barnet and York and say, well, you know, they're comparable to us.
But they've got pace.
I mean? So, but again, I mean, look, trying to be balanced. All right, Mickey Mellon's probably won't be pleased with this season. Probably won't be pleased with the squad he's got necessarily, or how it's being used, even though it's hardly him that has recruited it. I still think that clubs like Barnet and York are clubs that are in the ascendancy. And I know we are in the ascendancy, but I still think we're a little bit behind. That's why
we're about 12 months behind where I thought we'd be at this point when we dropped out of the league. I thought last season would be the season where we get in the playoffs but don't win them, and I think that is now what's going to happen this season. I don't even think we'll get to Wembley, in all honesty.
I think the first two seasons in this division, Dane, showed us how far behind we were, and then you know we did, and so I still like at the beginning of the season. My prediction was 5th. Andy predicted 4th. We are in that where and we expect to get into playoffs. Now, if you get into playoffs, you've got a chance of getting promoted or not. So I still think we're behind in terms of the momentum that you need to the head of steam that you need to build up in order to Barnet. We're near there or thereabouts last season. They've been building. York, I know they didn't have a great season last season, but they got promoted the season before, and they've sort of like, you know, the new stadium and everything, and they're on a bit of a head of steam. You know, their owners have got more money than our owners have. So I still think that we are in that process. And yeah, this season has been disappointing sort of since 2025 began, but it's not over yet. And we just need to get back. We need to get our own little head of steam back up and finish the season strongly. And we could still go up. And I
we could still go up potentially. It's just it's looking more and more outside. But those playoffs are a lottery, and Mellon has got the credentials. You know, 3 of his 5 promotions through the playoffs. Obviously, there's no point getting rid of him. I've been saying that all season. Absolutely silly getting rid of him with so few games to go. But we need to be hitting the end of the season with good form, and hopefully, if all the I'm ranting. If all the injuries do come to click at the end of the season, we get Node back to full fitness, we get Regan, we get Manny, whoever, and hopefully this is our mid-season blip and we finish strong to finish on a positive note.
Well, Jack says, my point is I see one up front if people see one up front as a negative when there's front three with wingers is hardly any different. Well, Jack, I'm sorry to disappoint you, we have no wingers and we have no pace.
We have wing backs. There's our
nothing.
They're more, they're defensive more than
I get your point, Jack. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's just
he's absolutely right that it can work. It can totally work.
But
if you've recruited for that system, we don't have that system, and you know I think that front three for us is that front diamond. I think we've got a Fondop with what we've got, Fondop Waters or Fondop Norwood, and then for me not Lundstrom in behind. But we've got to start using Josh Lundstrom. We've got to get the ball to his feet. Because instead of stop playing it over the top of the midfield, like the players are there. Let them play. And Mickey Mellon needs to say, let them play. Go out and play. Enjoy yourself. Play football. Yeah, stop. You know what I mean? Stop being so sort of like disciplined with the structure of it because it's clearly sucking the life out of us.
You'll get the fans on side if they're seen to be trying to pass it and play it forward rather than lateral passing with a big hoof. That's just 101, right? That's simple.
Well, we see it, but Mickey Mellon has different ideas, doesn't he? What's the score going to be on Saturday, Dan? Come on, hit me.
No,
not literally, but
yeah. I think they'll be lucky if we keep it within 2 goals.
deficit?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, guys. I'd like to put a silver lining on it, but just the form that Barnet are in at the minute, with the results they're getting against the top teams, and they're really starting to pull away from the top, I'd happily take a draw, take a dull 0-0 draw.
Get some £6 Guinness down your neck and know the pain.
Well, that has shocked me. I'm shocked.
Right, well, thanks for calling, Dane. Cheers, pal.
Cheers, thanks.
Appreciate it. Cheers, mate.
A little nod to the Egg Chasers podcast there. Let the boys play. Hopefully, it's a good rugby podcast. I'd really recommend it. Right, let's bring in
Bonsoir.
Brad, you're coming in next after Chris. Hi, Chris.
All right, lads. How you doing?
Hi. All right. How are you?
Can I be positive? Can I be positive, please?
No.
Absolutely.
Of course you can.
Right. I think that Mellon's had a lot of shit over his recruitment, and rightly so in some cases, but he's got some good players in, I think. I think we're waiting out for the right striker. I still believe somebody's going to come in the next, before the end of this month, before the end of March anyway, or 24th, whenever it is. I think he's waiting for the right man. He's not going to risk putting his head on the block again. He's had his back ripped out. I understand why, but I think we just need a bit of quality up front. We need some more. Do we need a Fondop? Probably need another Fondop type player, a big number 9 type player to back up Mike and give him a rest, lad. But I think we're going to get on the striker in. I do believe we will. And I think with all the people coming back, as you just said, Dane, then I think we've got another squad coming in. We're going to hit the playoffs in momentum. We're going up. Hey, Wembley, first 2 teams. See you there. I'll buy you a pint of Guinness.
They don't sell Guinness at Wembley. They sell Bud Light, Budweiser, and Heineken.
Oh dear.
Horrendous.
I do know about Wembley. You're an Oldham fan.
I went to the Euros against Italy versus England, and I snuck 4 cans of neck oil in with me.
That's because security was great, obviously.
Well, obviously.
No,
listen. I don't want to, go over the Josh Stones thing. But I did see. I was flicking through the games on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever it was, and. He scored. It was they won 3-1 at Maidenhead York, and he scored in the last minute or so, and it was just pure brute centre forward strength. Like he was just physical with the defender, put him off balance, turned him, and smashed the ball in the net. And it was just, just that big, strong centre forward player, but the ability to just to finish in it. And I think you're right in terms of like a Fondop, somebody that's big and strong, is a nuisance. He's working the centre half right until the last minute, gets his shot away, but importantly, sticks it in. And yeah, because Fondop doing it for 90 minutes every single game, it must just be. I mean, fair play to him. He's absolutely grafted his nuts off.
He nearly scored against Maidenhead. He was unlucky, but he was absolutely bollocks, and everyone's on his back. Well, certain people are on his back.
He's not, Andy's not on his back.
I'm joking.
No, but he's getting a bad rap. It's not fair.
All right.
It's been class, Mike. Mike's been class. I don't agree with Reid coming back, and I certainly don't want Willoughby or Nuttall back. I don't think Reid's up for our club. I don't think he's got an appetite for us anymore. Whether it's
I don't think he's got an appetite for our manager. I think that's
reciprocated with our manager towards Reid.
To be honest with you, if I were being absolutely 100% honest and being a truthful person, I'm not right mad on Mellons' tactics, but I think he can get us out of this league. I think he's a vehicle to get us where we want to be, and I think he's a vehicle to get us into League Two, back into the AFL, and then. We'll look where we're going from there. I do believe that's what he's here for. He's here to do a job, and he will do that job. I do believe he will. I know he's crap at times, and it's one at home is not acceptable. However, how do we know that Waters wasn't injured? Because Norwood's in and out like a...
Yeah. Well, he were on the bench, weren't he, Waters? He were on the bench, Waters, so he assumed that he'd be fit enough to play if he's on the bench, but... and he didn't come on. But look, I think the thing is... And this is obviously, we had conversation about it at the weekend on the podcast, and obviously Mickey Byrne got a bit of flack off certain supporters on Saturday. But it is what it is this season. He's not going anywhere, and we're in a promotion push, and we want to try and all be on the same page. As frustrating as it is, and it is frustrating, and we know that. But we've got a big game on Saturday. We need to go into that with
be the 12th man,
be the positivity, and try and get behind the manager and the players. And yeah, it's up to him. He's got to respond. He's got to get something out of this team. He can't just keep doing the same thing and expecting it to get results when clearly since the start of the year it hasn't worked.
The thing is, right,
Danny Shelton scores. That's me done.
Yeah, that can't happen. The thing is, right, we're fifth
now.
And the club, the fan base is divided. It's such a strange scenario, isn't it? That's the thing. And
like you said, Chris, he's here to do a job. He's in the process of doing that job. The job is not over. Now he's got another he's got a contract. He's got another year next year. So there's a decision to be made at the end of the season as to where the board think the club are in terms of what they've spent and where they're going. And if you think that if it's going to do anything, I think the thing with Mellon is he's comparable to John Sheridan.
No, he's not.
No, let me finish. Let me finish the sentence. Let me finish the sentence.
Sorry.
In that John Sheridan had a certain way. And he carried that way, and he was at a point in his career where he was never going to sort of change the way he did things. And I think same with Mickey Mellon, maybe. Mickey Mellon has a way, and that's the argument, is, and people were shouting at him that, in one way or another, that he has a way of doing things, and that way of doing things might not be effective. And I do believe in football, things do change, and you do have to adapt, and you have to show what you're all about. And whatever it was that made him a good coach and a good motivator and a good manager, he has to be able to adapt that and bring it into this season, to 2025, to where he's at with the players he's got. It's up to him, and he'll be judged on that, whether he can do that or not. So,
yeah.
Sorry.
I think Sheridan,
Well, Sheridan never brought us any success. He got us to the playoffs and he kept us in the division, and we love him because of his. But we like him for other reasons, and he was a great player for us.
The football was better under Sheridan, I think.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying that I think there are parallels to the kind of in terms of you're looking at Dean Brennan, who's coming into what's it,
Barnet.
From Barnet, yeah, he was what you would call like a progressive modern coach, and the way he goes about it. The hope was that David Hunt was going to be that, I guess, but that didn't.
Adam Inshallwood at York, you know what I mean? The guy is it Rob Elliott at Gateshead? He's he's an up and coming coach. I don't know. Steve Cottrell at Forest Green, he's been there, done it, and
But again, we use the key word there, coach. Yeah. Is Mellon a coach or is he a manager?
Manager.
So Brabin's the coach.
Yeah.
So, and his coaching team.
Scott Davis as well, the goalkeeper coach as well. He does a bit of coaching.
So we need them as a team to coach the players that they've got and get the best out of them. That's what being a successful management team and coaching team is about. Getting the best out of what you've got. And they've got resources, they need to get more out of them, don't they?
I think they need to shout out, because going back to the Stones, there's nobody else to reap over old territory, but I respect the club for walking away from the Stones deal and not trying to put their head on the block, because I think the price was stupid for what he was.
But where's the 200 grand that we allegedly bid for Stones? Because that was bandied around. We went for 200 grand, and where's that? We signed with Billy Waters for 200 grand, didn't we?
No, but there needs to be but there needs to be a good reason to spend the 200 grand. And if there isn't a good reason...
Well, the good reason is to get promoted.
I know, what I mean is you don't want to waste it. There's got to be... Unless there's somebody out there to... I mean, after Regan Linney's performance against us at Boundary Park, I think he'd be a good player to sign. But, it is...
I'd carry him piggyback from fucking Altrincham to
But I don't know. We don't know what the story is with him, and I'm sure that they're out there talking to agents and all that. And our agents are coming to Latics trying to get their players to Boundary Park. But look, we go on, Chris.
Until we reunite as fans, which player's going to want to come to Oldham and face the piss ball every week? We've got to reunite. As you said, we're overspilling now. We're arguing again. Back up on social media, become toxic again. We're all arguing. We've got to get together. Put our disputes aside and get behind one goal. I mean, we can have opinions, but let's try and be adult and civil about it without being abusive and talk through your point of view. But equally so, we've got to be
respectful,
receiving of the people's point of view and accept other people's opinions if they're different than yours without saying, piss off, you're a tosser. Because it don't work like that. Not everybody's a tosser, you know what I mean? We've got enough tossers. We've got rid of most of the tossers, but we've still got some. But no, we've got to get behind it as a fan base together. Let's get back together behind the team again. Sorry,
I do think we've lost. I think that Boundary Park has been tough. It's been tough this season, considering where we are in the league. We've not it's not been bouncing. It's not been the atmosphere's not been great, and it's been a tough watch. And I think it's a collective responsibility. The team and the manager aren't delivering up the football, certainly this season, and we are finding it hard as a fan base to get ourselves going. And I think the away crowd is usually more up for it than the home crowd. Usually because they've had a day and made a bit more of a day of it and stuff. But it's a weird season in that respect. So I think, look, we just got to. I think you like football. The old adage in football, the old cliche, you've got to take it one game at a time. With the games that have been. We're going to Saturday now, hopefully with a renewed team. They've had a bit of time to rest over the week and train and work, hopefully, on the training ground. It's sort of like coming away from that game at Dagenham and saying, right, 3 at the backs, that's done. This is how we're going to play against Barnet. They've been working on it, and they're going to go out there and they're going to put that into practice. That's the job of the manager and the coaching team, to set us up for that game against Barnet. And they need to come out, walk down those steps onto that pitch at Boundary Park on Saturday, knowing what they're doing, confident, and they've got to get stuck into Barnet. They've got to put tackles in. They've got to get the crowd on side in the first 5 minutes. And we've got to take the game to them. There's no excuse for anything other than that. If we get beat and we have a really good go at them, and we can clap them off the pitch, that's what we need. We need to be clapping them off the pitch. We got, happy with the way that they've performed and the way that they played, and the crowd lifted, because we're going into the most important running in the season we've had in a positive way for a long time. We've not been in this position. A lot of people that have been on the podcast and been on the phone and have never seen us this high up in the league. And all right, it's the National League, the lowest league we've ever been in, but they've still never seen it. And it's got to be a positive. We've got to try and enjoy it. I know we're in 5th, and I know it's been hard, and I know 2025 has been poor, but we need to try and all enjoy the running, and that and the club and the team and the players have got to give us something to cheer out in early on Saturday. It's a joint responsibility, isn't it? It's got to start on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to happen on Saturday. It's going to happen on Saturday. We're going to beat them 3-1, by the way.
I hope so. It'll be typical Latics. Yeah. Typical Latics to lose these.
Dave, I don't know what you sat on there, Dave. Put your face straight, but we're going to beat them 3-1.
Well, I hope you're right.
No, we've got to be right. He's going to go at them. We're going to turn our league around, and it's going to happen. The players coming back. We're all right. Listen, we've stuck with Mellon. We're sticking with Mellon. We're not stuck with him. We're sticking with him. Another 18 months, whatever we've got. Let's stick behind the fella and let's get us up there. He's a vehicle. He's going to get us into League 2. End of the story. That's what we're going to do. I don't give a shit, really, as long as we get into League 2. All right.
All right. Chris. Thanks, Chris. See you later, mate. See you. Bye. 3-1. Right, let's bring Brad in.
There we go.
He's pulling some faces through that conversation.
He was shaking his head.
He was, yeah. You all right?
Fell off.
You all right? Hey? Everyone has to say, Brad. Everyone has to say. You can have your say now.
Right, some guy from France is saying about the toxic atmosphere. What toxic atmosphere are we talking about? Because they've only been booed off the pitch once against Maidenhead, and obviously Gaz made the comment on Saturday, which has been blown out.
I think he was talking about social. I think he was talking about social media.
He said social media
over the last couple of days. I think.
Who wants to come to the club? Plenty of players will want to come to the club because we offer a decent wage, and they're not going to be asked what fucking people on Twitter are saying. And any club, or if you look at anyone's hashtag, any social media, there's always people kicking off, no matter what. Yeah. You look at Liverpool, there'll be fans kicking off at Liverpool. I think they want their owner out. So there's people just kicking off on there. So it's just social media. That's what people do. People just moan and boot off. But there's no
all fan bases, Brad, are made up of. All fan bases are made up of different personalities. All clubs are the same.
Do you not think it's been flat at Boundary Park though, Brad?
It's been dead. It's been absolutely dead. But what's the reason why? What we're getting excited for is the last 2 games of Sutton and Maidenhead. There's been no chances created by us. There's not been a tackle. It's been sideways, backwards, hoof. Boring.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And people are bored. And what are people going to get behind? Altrincham, we were 2-0. We're 2-0 down. We got another goal back. We attacked, got the goal, and the place lifted, and fans got going. The team have got to give us something. Solihull, Solihull was even a worse atmosphere away, and that's from an away end. It was just dead, weren't it? There was just nothing.
Yeah.
The game were doing nothing. If the game's doing nothing, then fans are harder to get behind.
I think what the Atleticos have tried to do is create that kind of, when there are certain grounds around the world, you see atmospheres in certain countries where they turn up and they're there for that, aren't they? But there's generally more of them, and it's a bit more part of the culture in that country. Yeah, it's a cultural thing, and that's what the Atleticos have tried to do. And I think it's one of those things where, I've said this before, I think in this country, I think people watch the game. They go to football to watch the game, so it's hard then because you get drawn into what's going on and what's being delivered to you on the pitch, rather than just being there just to really make the racket and jump up and down and make the noise and stuff like that. And that's not really part of our game, our culture. We go to watch the game and we want to watch it. And unfortunately, like you said, Brad, at Boundary Park this season, the results of the performances have been terrible, and it's hard to get behind. And like you said, against Altrincham, the crowd really lifted, didn't it, when it started to get a performance in that second half?
Exactly. So it is there. People will get behind it, but you just need something to shout about. I think I said it. I said I think when we're fourth in the league, the players should be bouncing. The crowd should be up, but the crowds are going down. The atmosphere is getting worse. You got to think, what's the reason for that? There needs to be, like saying, how do we change this? And Mellon's come to his senses that he needs to change his formation, change his tactics, what he needs to do. I think we'll go 4-3-3. I think we'll go Pritchard, Fondop, and Kay on the wings. I think that's how we're going to look to go, is them three up front. But we need a striker. I don't know how Fondop is getting through games. At the start of the season, like I said, I wasn't a big Fondop fan, but he's proved me wrong. He's been sensational for us, but he's getting absolutely clattered every game. He must have come out of that game, every game, battered and bruised, headaches, sore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
He's given his heart and more for this club. He's gives blood. Yeah.
The thing is with that formation, Brad, I understand from what I've seen of it, they're going to have to work on it a lot. They're going to have to really, really work on it on the training ground. They're going to have to practice, because what tends to happen is Fondop gets isolated. The other two lads sort of drift out. With the midfield don't get close to him, and it kind of becomes a bit more like a one up top. And then we have this gap in the mid in that number 10. So we're going to have to work on it, and the team is going to have to start moving up and down the pitch, pressing and being really well organised with and without the ball, because we switching from one system to another is hard. You have to be coached, you have to train, you have to work hard at it, and it's it's not the ideal time of the season, is it, to change a system and do that? So we're going to have, but again, that's where the players and the management team earn their crust. That's what they're paid to do. So no excuses
with Mellon. My issue, I can say his tactics are shit, but there's my reasons why. His play is one-dimensional, it's predictable, and there's no movement into space, is there, at all? There's no.
I 100% agree with that, because before Christmas we were passing it around a lot, and we're absolutely tearing teams apart, like say.
But Conlon was the start of it, wasn't it? Is it Conlon that's the key, do you think?
Well, we've lost our full spine of our team. You've lost Month, we've lost Ogle, we've lost Conlon, we've lost Norwood, we've lost Clucas, and we've lost Hudson and Stones as well. Some of them, which when I was last on there, I made the point saying that it was absolute stupid that the short-term thinking wasn't the problem, but we're not going over the park. The recruitment will be judged on how we finish this season. But we were tearing teams apart, but we're having to get to know each other, the players again. We've gone from everyone's a bit shaky. Look, Kitchen's gone back. Obviously have Month there. Month was there to protect that side. He was basically playing centre back and left wing back and allowed Kitchen to go forward.
Yeah.
And Ogle and Caprice used to switch around a bit, and Sutton, he's just not good enough. I think it's time for him to take out the team. I think Hobson's got to play there. Midfield too. Well, we've got that many midfielders. It's just whichever one's playing with Pet. But some of the signings again, like Worthington and stuff, there's no impact on the game. from them. We just need.
We've got Worthington, Evans, Khan, Hammond, Pett, Gardner, Charsley's out, Conlon, Yanganathan. You know, how many?
Well,
he's just been on the bench, hasn't he? Yeah. I think. Look, we've. It's been proven that we've needed bodies, like because people get injured and things like that. So you do need a bit of depth to your squad. But how when you play that three, and you said about the front three that you'd play, who would you play across the? Would it be Rossiter, Pett, and Lundstrom, or what?
Yeah, you got to go Rossiter, Pett, 2, and then Lundstrom in behind. Lundstrom, I don't know again why we've not fancied Lundstrom for recent weeks. He keeps coming off the bench. For some reason, Lundstrom arguably has been one of the best players this season when he's been playing behind. He's actually got the ball down and drive forward, and that's what we need. Someone to get the foot on the ball and go forward and not hoof it. Stop the hoofing, put your foot on the ball and pass it round it, and pass forwards, go forwards.
Look, that goal we scored against Dagenham was it the equaliser? It came from Lundstrom, didn't it? Big boot Ufop, flick on from Fondop, but Lundstrom turned in the box, laid it off to Pritchard. Lundstrom's got to be up the pitch with the ball at his feet. He's been pissing me off the last few games where when he's come on the pitch, they've been playing it over his head. They've been ignoring him completely, and it's just pointless. Yeah, completely pointless.
He's ball at his feet. He can drive it. He can drive, and he doesn't always make the right decision. And but that's the level we're playing at. But he's having a go with it at his feet, and he's passing it, or he's taking a shot and doing something.
Brad, how many penalties have we had this season?
2.
It's not many, is it? And I think when what you're most likely to get a penalty for is when somebody's running in the box, somebody penetrating the box, getting in there, and every time our players get near the box, they either seem to pass it out wide. There's not enough determination to get into the box, take the ball, run, and get a shot away, get fouled, whatever. We do need to be a lot more aggressive towards the goal from in front of the goal instead of going wide all the time or high all the time. And
it's like Hammond. Like Hammond is, I think he's a luxury player. Do you know what I mean? And I think he is similar in ilk with Lundstrom. He runs with the ball, doesn't he? And he drives forward. We saw at the start against Braintree and Wealdstone away that he did have that sort of attacking momentum at the start of the season. But he's been left out again to pasture. Do you know what I mean? I'd give him at least 10, 15 minutes to see what he could do.
He looks like he has more than that Yogi Nathan, who's I don't know what he is. Is he a striker?
Yanganathan, I think he just caused havoc in the box against File for Fondop to score that, and then he's got a bit of height and a bit of presence. But other than that, I've not seen much. He was quite poor against Altrincham, I think it's fair to say, because but I don't think he was playing in his right position, to be fair. But again, I just don't get it. I don't get it, and it needs to change. And I really, really want to see something different on Saturday. Yeah. I hope we do. I hope.
We do. We need a striker in. Obviously, we need a striker in, and we've needed a striker in since January. I don't know why we brought Billy Waters in. He's not the type of striker we needed. We had at the time Joe Gardner, and the Norwood situation is pissing me off the most because we seem to just get him about 20% fit and play him, and then he's out for another 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Just let him recover and bring him back for the last 5 or 6 games when we might need him. Then,
but again, that's just it just reeks of desperation, doesn't it? Of like not having somebody to bring in, and then bringing him in when he's in that situation. So yeah, it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, we are where we are, and we're still in with a chance, and we just have to work. But some of the key players come back in time. We stay in the playoffs. We start getting some results. The thing is, we've got some really, really tricky games, coming up. We've got at Boundary Park, we've got Barnet, we've got Rochdale, we've got Halifax who are creeping up behind us. They're our bogey team.
Hartlepool.
We've got some really, really tough home games at Boundary Park.
I think we need 5 wins for the playoffs. 5 wins out of the remaining games. We're in a bit of a better position than we were last year. I think we're 8 points clear now. Last year we were only 5 points clear. But
so we've got Barnet on Saturday, then we've got the 2 away games, Boston and Tamworth.
They'll be tough games.
Which are going to be tough, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Tamworth's on a plastic pitch. They've only lost 1 at home. They're no mugs.
Eastleigh at home, Rochdale at home, Halifax at home, Southend away, Woking at home, Yeovil away. Oh my God!
Yeah, it's not an easy run-in. It's not Forest York and Forest Green back to back. It's got look. I mean, the thing is though, Brad, we should be going into that now, shouldn't we? Looking at those games, we've got some really some of the biggest games of the season, the biggest clubs in the division we're playing. We're in the top 5. We should be looking forward to this now. This should be exciting, and what we need is we need the players and the manager to make it exciting for us and get us going, because by putting some performances in, don't they?
I think they need to make it exciting, and we need to have a little bit of patience on the tourists. I think it just needs to be a bit calm. I think everyone at the moment is high rate and panicking. I don't think we need to try and take the panic away. The players just need to stop panicking as well. Manager needs to stop panicking. Chill. Take your time. Deliver with the ball. Make things happen.
There we go.
But,
That's some good advice.
At 2:01 p.m. on Saturday, you see one up front. Are you going to be chilled then?
But you would play one striker, wouldn't you? You've just said that.
Yeah,
You'd play Pitchard and Kerr.
Exactly. I don't think there's any other formation where you wouldn't. I think one at home against Barnet is probably not a bad idea. Obviously, Fondop didn't play away, but last year when he did play away, he absolutely bullied him. Yeah. He won everything. He won everything, and we're gonna have. But the problem is, we're playing one up front. We've got to have players off him, like Matt said. We need to have runners running off him, like your K's, your Pritchards need to be off him. We
need to get midfielders ahead of him, don't we? We need to get people ahead of him. That's the thing. I mean, I don't mind what formation we play, as long as it's effective, and as long as they've been working on it, and you can see what they're trying to do, and that they've been coached, and like against Maidenhead. Now it's going to be a bit different. Thinking about it now, I think with the exception possibly of Tamworth and Boston, when you think about the games we've got coming up, having teams like York, Forest Green, Barnet, teams that are actually going to come at us a bit, it might be a bit easier, because against Maidenhead and Sutton, teams that were there to be part of the bus, we struggled so much to break them down, didn't we?
We do. We can't do it. That's the problem. We don't create enough chances. We don't have enough. Do you know, like a flair player? Like the only player who can run with the ball is Caprice, and Maidenhead did a job, and they put 2 men on him, and he was just nullified. And I don't think teams like Barnet would do that. And one thing I want to say, I'm fucking sick as death of seeing this Dean Brennan loving, because our fans would have had him sacked last year because he's bottled the playoffs twice. He bottled it against Boreham Wood at home, and he bottled it. He got absolutely stuffed to Solihull. So this is his 3rd time. It looks like.
But that isn't that. Yeah, but that's a really good. But that's a good reason to stick with people, because it's a good people need time, squads need time, keep going, and he's learned, hasn't he? He's learned from those experiences, and now he's got on top of the league and clear by a number of points. So I think that's really, I've said this before, failure is a really important thing that you have to go through. You have to go through the disappointment. It feeds the hunger, and it's obviously worked for him. So, because rather than just saying, well, we didn't succeed this season, therefore you failed, therefore you must be sacked, and bring in somebody else again. I think that's that's going to be the question at the end of this season, Brad, isn't it? Does Mickey Mellon carry on, and do you look at it that way, or do you look at it, well, you've not succeeded, therefore?
Well, that's the thing. It depends. I think obviously the conversation on the podcast is like obviously the different options. I think I said it last time I was on it. We failed to make the playoffs. There should be whole sackings of most people at the club. For everybody, tea ladies and everything should go. Just get them all gone and just restart the club. But like I said, if we get the playoffs, we get a bit of momentum. We get to the final, or we get to the semi-final, or whatever it is. Just get beat. You just got lucky. It's happened on the day, and we should go again. But like I said, anything less than that, then that's where you're thinking, do we change?
Anything less than the best is a felony.
Oh, I don't know.
The thing is, Brad, we are a club that has reset completely reset in the last 3 years. So we can't keep resetting.
All the backroom stuff went with Mellon last.
Yeah, we can't keep resetting. There has to be some sort of continuous progress and building up. So look, we're always it's part of our makeup as Latics fans, because we've had such a lack of success. We don't know what success looks like. We don't know what a club steadily building and improving year on year looks like because we haven't had it for 35, 40 years. You know what I mean? So,
what would you say success season then, both of you?
Pardon?
What would you say success is this season?
Promotion would definitely be success.
Yeah, obviously, but if we can't get promotion,
I think what I want to see, what I want to see, Brad, is I want to see us make the playoffs and then do ourselves credit in the playoffs. That's what I want to make us. I'd like to see us finish the season strong and do ourselves justice in the playoffs. If we go out of the playoffs because we get knocked out on penalties or it's unlucky, you know what I mean? Once you're in there, you've got to be competitive. I think, and then I want to see us have a good goal. What I don't want to see is us limp to 7th place finish and then go out at the first hurdle in the playoffs or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
That's my thinking. I'm completely in agreement there that playoffs are even harder than in the Football League. Football League, you have two games. This one, it's just one game. Anything can happen on that one game. But like I said, if you limp into the playoffs and go out first time getting beat 2 or 3-0, you're thinking, not success that whatsoever. No. But Dave, did you just say Wembley? No, nothing other than final.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my, although I did say 11th at the start of the season. I did say 11th, but there's still a chance of that. But I think that with the resources and the signings that he's had and the amount of players that we've signed, the final in the playoffs, we've got to get to the final. Or that's it for me.
Do you think, Brad, that because when I'm looking at with the glass half full and I'm looking at some of the quality of the players that he's brought in, you're looking at Manny Month, Regan Ogle, the Raglan's looked really good this season under him. Conlon, there's players in the squad that we've brought in. You go, yeah, these are good players. Caprice has been pretty good. Do you think that given another summer, he'll recruit enough good players and that he will give us a championship winning squad next season? Because that would have to be what has to happen. The next season's got to be in that incremental building. For me, I can take going into the playoffs this season and not making it if next season we are the title favourites and we are flying and we go for it. And I don't think fans would be too happy about anything less, really.
Obviously, recruitment is a mixed bag at the moment with him. Like, we seem to sign these over 30s. We're not really building, are we, for the future? Like, we don't have that 22, 23-year-old players who are regularly playing. We have a lot of older players, and I think we need to start getting away from them journeymen. And I think getting people who are either in the prime or just about to go into the prime is where we need to go. And I agree. I'm sick of hearing, like I say, it's a process. Next season, it's always next season. But next season, if we say it, we've got to. And I don't want to excuse, Carlisle are going to be buying the league and we can't compete with them. We've got to concentrate on Oldham Athletic and what Oldham Athletic can do. And by signing the right players in the summer should be enough for us to win the league, or like I say, we should be already up. I think we still got the quality to go up this year.
I'm not writing us off this year at all. I think that once we get once we get some key players back and we get into the playoffs, I think with the experience of the management team and some of the players that we've got, we might be okay. But
didn't Pett and Conlon play together in the playoffs to get up? Didn't they? Or was it this season apart?
So to be fair, it's happened here. So when Port Vale went up from League Two, Pett was the one who mainly played because Conlon got injured in January.
Right. Apologies, sorry.
So it's exactly the same what's happened here. Conlon's
they went up in the playoffs, so you never know.
Yeah.
I think in them one games, like if it's just a one-off game, I think Mellon knows how to do that. He likes it. He likes to. He's an ugly winning manager. We don't blow teams away. We won't see us like 3 or 4 against teams who are around us. Like, like against Rochdale, he knew how to manage the game. How for the first 10 minutes, we were getting battered.
All over the place, yeah.
And we just came back into it and slowly slogged our way and got the win. I think that's the type of what a playoff team is, and I think that's what Mellon's experience will show compared to someone like an Inshall Wood or
that's a great point. That's a really great point.
And I think that's partly what the board are hoping for, is that, you know, keep us as long as we finish in the top 7 and we're in the playoffs. They fancy Mickey Mellon to you know, be able to get us through the playoffs. But we'll see, won't we? I don't know. Look, I mean, the club it's going to be building for a long time. We're in the National League. We don't want to be there. We don't want to be in League 2. We want to get out of League 2. We want to get into League 1. There's a lot of building process. There's a lot of disappointment to come in terms of missing out on promotion and play. We're just going to have to go with it. And
I'm feeling really stressed about being at Wembley in the final. I don't think I could cope with it. I honestly don't think.
Well, you might not have to worry about that this season. You have to just take it as it comes, you know.
Yeah, especially already kicking in with blood in each game as it comes. There's less games happen, and because you want to get to that point where you think, right, we've got enough points to be in the playoffs. It's like, you know, when we was in relegation, 50 points was the target. We're 50 points for each, and then the next step now is for us to get 70 points. I think 73 points we need. So it's getting, you're thinking, fucking hell, let's get to that as quickly as we can and try.
But we're stuttering, aren't we? We're stuttering and stuttering and stopping. It's just like,
3 wins in 12, which isn't good enough. It's relegation form. We won 3 away games. We need to win a home game. We haven't won at home since Wilston.
No, I know, and so we're putting it out there to it's on the team and the manager. You know, we all right. The atmosphere is not bouncing at Banjo Park, but we're going to turn up. Fans are there. You know, fans are there week in, week out, home and away. And you know, we need them to show some of that guile and that character, because I think what we were talking about earlier on in the season, before Christmas, was the character of the team, weren't it? We were talking about, even though you talked about that Wealdstone game, came back from 2-0 down, all right, you know, and won the game, and it's the character, and we need to see them, a bit like at Filed, which was a grind, but they showed the character. It's about character now. It's not about. I'm not asked if they play amazing football. I want them to win games. I want them to grind out results. I want them to show the character, never give up. And they're going to need to have that bit of quality as well, because that's what wins you games in this division. You have to, and you have to match it. You have to match the teams. You have to match them physically, and then you have to have a bit of quality in the final third. And we need to stop giving away stupid goals as well.
Yes. We want to see some balls from this team now.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we've got the big ones and fucking get them on the pitch and just swing them about.
Get those balls out absolutely. That's the message from Brad. What a great way to finish it, mate. Get your balls out. Get them swinging. Nice one, Brad.
Cheers, pal.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, lads.
See you soon. Mate. Take care, pal. Right. What a lovely image. Do you want to just sit with that for a minute?
Before we bring Ibby in, we have an announcement.
Do we? Oh, we do. Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. Well done.
Next week.
It is
Shithouse. We have got Mark Crossley on the phone in. So please join us and ask Mark some questions. He's going to regale us with stories of Oldham and maybe a bit of Cluffy as well. So that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So
well done, Dave.
Hold another one out the bag.
Mithering another former player and getting him on the show. Good work.
So
well, he'll be talking. It'll be after the Barnet game, won't it?
Yeah.
So it might be a nice distraction.
Yeah. Come on, let's bring him in.
Hi, Ibby.
Evening, sexy Dave. I'm Matt. You okay?
Thanks for holding on right till the end. You sound like you've been waiting there. You sound a bit exhausted from waiting. Are you all right?
Tired as well.
Yeah, I'm all right. Almost fell asleep.
You sound a bit sleepy. Yeah. I felt like that on against Maidenhead and Sutton.
Yeah, just disappointing at the moment with the results, the football, and what's happening. It's a shame. We've done really well this season, but after Christmas, it's gone downhill. The atmosphere's flat. I don't even feel like going on this Saturday, spending my pocket money to watch it, because the last 2 performances has been shocking, mate.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, we just have to put it behind us, don't we? It's a marathon, not a sprint, and you know we've definitely tailed off, but it's not. It's the hope, innit? It's the belief that the next game is going to be better. So we just have to hope that they're going to have to pull it out of the bag on Saturday against Barnet, because if we come out and start the game like we have done in recent games, it could be over by half time.
It could be over in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be toxic. Believe me, if we go 1-0 down, I think the fans are going to start turning on the manager like last weekend. Oldham fans turned on him. I thought that could have been dealt in the proper way, but I can understand why that fan ended up doing what he did, because he's passion. He loves the club, and if I was in the same area, I would have probably went and done that same thing, because I love this club. I like Mickey Mellon, but Mickey Mellon needs to change something around, and he needs to absolutely 100% needs to recall Alex Reid. Believe me, guys, because he's still on the Oldham books. He needs to bring him back, because today they were hoping to sign somebody. Apparently that deal has fallen through because the board are requesting to the manager that he needs to recall one of the loan players. So he needs to do what needs to be done. But that player was on the route to the club to sign today, but it hasn't happened because the club has changed its mind. And he would have been a decent signing because he knows the league from last season. I won't name him because it's wrong of me even naming him.
Yeah. The other thing is, I'm quite worried about Barnet is that they've in the last 8 games, they've won 7, drew 1. In the last 3 games, they've scored 10, conceded 2. These aren't here to mess about. They are coming for the win. They're going to attack, and they'll want revenge from the last season at home when Dean Brennan was fuming that they didn't get a penalty and whatnot and stuff like that. But I'm pretty nervous, if I'm honest with you. I am nervous
I think sadly we're going to get battered. Why? Because the performance of the last 2 games, what I've seen, I think the players' legs have gone tired. There's no plan B. It's going to be the same old same, and it's just going to become toxic. I would like them to prove us wrong on the weekend, but believe me, Barnet are no mug. They're top of the league. No. They're scoring for fun. They put 4 past Rochdale. The manager is crazy. York. He's another Martin Allen type. And we need to see what happens.
Yeah, they put 3 past Solihull Moors, they put 3 past York, they put 4 past Rochdale. God.
Yeah, but, you know.
But we can't, you know, I don't know.
It's another game. Listen, football in this division and football in any division, on any given day, you do not know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. So I think it's up to, you said about if we go 1-0 down about the atmosphere and stuff. I think it depends on the nature of it. I think if we're having a real go and we're creating chances and they're having a go and they're creating chances and it's, if we can go blow for blow and they score, if they score, well, they score. That's just the way it goes. I think as long as the players and the team have got the crowd up for it and it feels like it's going to be a competitive game, I think that the fans will be on board for that. I think if we're absolutely under the cosh from the minute 1 and we can't get going and we can't attack, then it'll be a bit more of a struggle. So we've got to start the game well on Saturday. We've got to get the crowd behind us, and then, if it's, I'd love it to be an exciting game. I'd love there to be goals in it.
I'd love it. Just love it. All right, Kevin G, you've got the same hair as him.
I wish. Yeah, no, guys, you're absolutely spot on what you're saying, and thanks for bringing Mark Crossley for next week. Sure, I'm looking forward to that because there will be a lot of good tales by him.
Yeah, and if any fans just want to buy a coffee for that, buy us a coffee. The link is at the end of the show because ultimately, it is hard to get guests on. We do have to send them a bit of a gift here and there to get them on. So
Dave knows how to lube the wheels, don't you?
Matt and Dave, before the games, are you going to start interviewing fans about the result? What?
Yeah, I'm going to start I'm going to start the fan zone again, and I'm going to be interviewing Sir Michael Mellon after the game as well because I've just been a bit busy and taking my son. It's always difficult with my son after the game. He usually wants to go home because we play crap. So yeah, I'm going to start interviewing him. So yeah,
no, that's good, guys, and it's my Ramadan hopefully on Sunday.
Well. Best of
it starts on Sunday, does it?
Yeah, it's going to start on Sunday for a good month and less sleep.
Yeah, well, best
all the best with it, mate.
Best of luck with
All
it,
the best
mate.
with it. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys, for having me on, and I'll let you guys off now.
Cheers.
All right,
Thanks,
cheers.
Dibby.
Yeah, I'm knackered.
Yeah,
so
no,
thanks very much,
bye-bye.
Dibby. Cheers, pal. Bye-bye.
All the best, Dibby.
I love the end. He goes, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I'll let you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go now.
Thanks,
so
thanks
that's enough for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
so
enough.
next week, again, let's just put that up. We have, if you've missed it, Mark Crossley, Barnsley, Shithouse, Jigsaw, whatever you want to call him, the Big Norm. He's agreed to join us on the Latics football phone-in. The guests are going to get better and better and better.
So he can do his Nigel Clough impression, and you
Brian Clough.
Sorry, Brian Clough. That's what I meant.
Have you heard his Shez impression?
And you can no, I haven't.
Oh,
and you can do Muhammad Ali or something because you like to do impressions.
Clough, I've had enough.
You go a bit back and forth.
No, it's going to be brilliant, and honestly, he's good value, and really, really, really looking forward to it. So if you want to buy us a coffee, do it.
All right. So thanks for joining us on the show this week, and come on, Oldham. Hey Dave, did you know that listeners can now buy us a coffee or any other kind of hot beverage? What's your favourite hot beverage, Dave?
A macchiato.
And how do you like your macchiato?
Black with lots of milk.
No cream?
No.
Well, if you want to buy Dave a
macchiato,
then go to buymeacoffee.com/We Are Oldham. I'll just have a Nescafe.
Thank you, listeners.